Evening, and welcome back to 5-Minute Drum Lessons, where we get her done in 5 minutes or less. On today's agenda, the Moeller technique. Of course, it's a hot topic, and it's a great thing to know. It can help us stay relaxed as we play faster rhythms, and it can be applied to all sorts of situations. But what we're looking for in the crash course today are just your basics of how this movement works, and how we can build up the speed with it. And yeah, we'll get started right away. So basically, this is a very similar idea to the double stroke roll. However, instead of using the fingers for the second note, it's all wrist. So think back to that original position of how do you hold your drumstick. Okay, you're here, fingers wrap around, and you're going to stay in this position the whole time. You come up and you come down, and same thing, just like with the double stroke roll, your hand stays low. Okay, we let the stick come off the pad a little bit, and then the second note you play on your way back up. Okay, and the most important thing for me about the Moeller is this position right here. And it's sort of a bit of a strange looking position, but thinking about the wrist leading the way, okay? So normally if you're playing Moeller, you're gonna think one, you're gonna come down from up here. But just think about starting down here, and then for the upstroke, leading with the wrist, coming up like this, and then don't stop here, bring it all the way back like a wave or like a whipping motion, and then you come back down. So it's this position that plays the upstroke or the second note. So when you're on your way up, you're going to be in this position and then back down. Okay, so you're up, leading with the wrist, coming around, boom. And then the hand stays low, but you can still see I'm in this closed position where the fingers are still wrapped around the stick. Even though I've just played my first note, I'm not in this position that you would see if I was working on my double stroke. Okay, but the idea is the same. You're getting two notes out of one full stroke. So you're only up here once for every two notes. Okay. So nice and slow, exaggerating the movements when we play slowly, and those movements will become more condensed as we play faster, but the general muscle movements will remain, and that's how you're gonna get the beauty out of this technique. But just start slow, think about this, you come up, you come around, hand stays low, stick comes off the pad a little bit, and then your upstroke, you're leading with the wrist. And just remember, you need to try to balance these two notes. The Moeller kind of has a natural accent on the downstroke, okay? Because you're coming from way up here, and the second one, you have to play from down low. So do your best not to add even more to that, because that can become a really lopsided rhythm and accent. And if you're going for something a little more even, don't come down quite as hard. Give a little more on the upstroke, and you'll be able to balance them out a little bit better, and that natural accent will sound really nice instead of sounding sort of out of place. Okay, so you start nice and slow, and then as you speed up, it becomes a lot more condensed, but you can still see I'm lifting with the wrist there on the upstroke, coming down with the whipping motion on the downstroke, and boom. Moeller technique. Last thing, if you want to work on this in a groove, one-handed 16th note hi-hat, so 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and on the hi-hat, and then simply 1 and 3 on the bass drum, 2 and 4 on the snare. Then you've got a nice little groove, 1E and 2E and you can work on your Moeller technique in a groove context, and it'll all start making more and more sense from there. Good luck with it. Any questions, let me know. Thank you for joining me. See you in the next one.